What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us. Today, I'm going to be discussing a very common problem that we see on semi trucks, oil in the coolant. Now, a lot of times when this happens, people are going to automatically think it's a head gasket. Most of the time, it's going to be an oil cooler. Oil coolers are in place to cool the oil. Oil gets hot over time. It gets very hot, and when it gets hot, it doesn't lubricate as well. So it needs to have some kind of temperature control. And this is where the oil cooler comes in place. Now, oil coolers are going to be located in a lot of different areas on trucks depending on the platform. But basically, an oil cooler is going to be a heat exchanger where oil is fed in and so is coolant. And what happens is the heat from the oil gets transferred to the coolant and controls the temperature of the coolant. Over time, seals or the oil cooler can fail. So, and why do you get oil in your coolant? Because oil pressure is higher than coolant pressure. So, of course, since oil pressure is higher than coolant pressure, if you do have a failure in the system, this is why you're getting oil in the coolant and not coolant in the oil. That's very important. So why do oil coolers fail? Oil coolers fail, well, a lot of different reasons. You have heat cycles that happen 1,000 times a minute. Now, this happens throughout the day, heat getting hotter, colder. You have age. Nothing's going to last 1,000,000 miles, especially an oil cooler. It's not going to last over 1,000,000 miles. Anything over 500,000 miles, you can expect an oil cooler failure. Internal cracks. These coolers are made just like any other coolers. Whether it's round or it's square, they're going to have internal tubes just like this inside of it, just like any heat exchanger. And over time, any of these tubes can fail and cause that issue. Or if the way that they're sealed is going to be with gaskets. These gaskets can fail, which can also cause issues and cause that oil to pass into your coolant. Contamination. Not changing your coolant at least once a year, depending on what type of coolant you're running. If you're not using coolant strips to test your coolant, that's going to have contamination, which is going to keep what's going to make those seals fail even sooner. Also with liners, your liners have seals on them as well. So if you have old coolant that's already broken down and it ends up causing contamination or corrosion, that's definitely going to cause some problems on your failure, which goes into poor maintenance. Maintenance, as I mentioned, changing out that coolant regularly, at least once a year, depending on what type of coolant you're running. If you don't change out your coolant, you're going to be exposed to contamination and corrosion, and that's going to eat up those seals fast. The symptoms that you're going to be looking out for when you have a failed oil cooler, of course, is oil in the coolant. This is very easy to see. You're going to see reservoir contamination. That's the oil slime that's going to be on the top of the oil or the coolant reservoir. Overheating. Sometimes you will get some overheating. Coolant being pushed out is not as common as most people think, but you can get some coolant being pushed out of the oil because you're getting more oil inside the coolant, which overflows the system over time and will start pushing it out. And recurring contamination. If you maybe replace your coolant reservoir thinking, hey, that was my problem, or it's got rid of the problem and it happens again, that's going to be a good sign that your oil cooler is going bad. When you get oil slime in your coolant reservoir, it's not always a head gasket. I want to mention that again because a lot of people think when they see that black residue, and they might think that it's just some combustion gas going into the coolant reservoir. Take a good look at it. If it's slimy, if it's oily, if it's sitting on the top of the coolant, that's definitely signs of an oil cooler. I wanted to discuss the difference between the pressure. I know at the beginning of the video I already told you that oil pressure is higher than coolant, but I wanted to give you a better idea because oil pressure, depending on your RPMs, depending on the platform, usually runs about 60 to 80 PSI depending on your RPMs. DD15s run just a little bit lower than that. But coolant is a lot lower than that. So when you do have a failure, whether it's going to be, I showed you earlier on how these seal. On some platforms they're round and they're going to have seals on this side, on each side, and some of them are flat. and going to be bolted down with seals. So anytime you have a failure on any of these sealing points, since oil pressure is higher than the coolant pressure, this is why the oil is going to get pushed into the coolant when you have a failure. The last thing I want to discuss is proper repair. Now, I always mention this before, you want to test the part before condemning it. These different tests can be performed by bench testing the oil cooler off of the truck, and that's really easy to do. Once you have the oil cooler removed, there's different tools that you can use to bench test these and pressure test them to see if they're actually leaking. You want to make sure to get that done, because if you're guessing at it and you put everything back together and you might have another issue going on, it's not going to fix the problem. Another thing I'd like to mention is when you do have a repair like this and you've been running it for a while and you had a lot of oil in your coolant, not all the time is all that coolant going to be clean right after the repair. You may have to do multiple flushes, because that residue, that oil residue, is going to stick to everything. Hoses, the internals of the engine, the radiator, all that oil residue is going to collect. Once you get everything repaired and it's stopped going to be contamination, the contamination is going to stop. That repair could still show oil going into your coolant. But as I mentioned, a few flushes, maybe 1 or 2 flushes. Once that's all done, you might have to replace that coolant reservoir so that you can get all that oil sludge out. These coolant reservoirs are built really weird. Sometimes they have a lot of different channels in them, so they won't clean up right away. Guys, if you're experiencing this type of problem, give us a shout, 972-225-3017. We're located in Dallas. We'll be more than happy to help you. Make sure to hit me in the comments below. Let me know if you ever dealt with this problem or if this video has helped. Make sure to subscribe for more content, and we'll see you next time.